changing the way you think, keep standing. You don't think you can make a difference in your own life? Oh, there you go. It's all within you, seriously. And the way I pose the question sometimes makes people go, what is he talking about? What does that mean? It means that the things you do, just like they said, are your choices. They're what you do. No one makes you do anything. No one forces you to do anything if you don't want them to. Okay? Everyone told their story. They told about where they came from and everything else like that. I'll tell you where I come from. I come from New York. All right? That's where I was born and raised. I was there for 37 years. And I lived in the Bronx. I lived in Harlem. I lived in Brooklyn. I lived in Long Island. I never lived in Queens. I didn't like it. Anyway, all over. In New York, you have to grow up fast. Like, fast. Your whole life revolves around you not just being a part of what's going on, but you making yourself a part of what's going on. Because you just can't walk on the street. You have to move on the street. You cannot just be there. So my son lives in the Bronx, and I told him, you are going to have to grow up very fast, but you're going to have to grow up very smart. Okay? Your ability to do what's right comes from not necessarily what's around you, but what you feel inside is right. Because just like it was said, someone brought you here. You're here for a reason. Whether it's court ordered, whether it's because a family member brought you here, whatever the case may be. And you might be sitting here saying, I don't really care what any of these people are saying to me. I'm going to do me. I'm going to do what I want to do, and I'm going to do it however I want to do it. So, when I was 9 years old, my father was a police officer in New York City. He brought me to the jail. And he's like, hey, let's go hang out, whatever, ride the police car, blah, 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 sure. Get in the police car, he brings me to the jail cell, says, take a look around inside. This is kind of like what happens, shows me everything, sits me down on the bench that's probably like this big, next to a toilet, next to a hard piece of metal, that's the bed. And as I'm looking around, the jail cell door closes. Hard and loud. Anybody ever been to jail? No. You ever seen jail on TV? You hear how the door slams? It's 10,000 times louder when you were there. And he walked away. And I'm standing there in a jail cell that probably was not even 4 by 6. Very small jail cell. And what feels like had to be 4 hours goes by. Really, it was only an hour. He comes back and he says, did you like it? Did you enjoy your time here? Did you think it was fun? Did you really think that I wasn't coming back to get you? And I said, I have no idea. I was crying. I was crushed. And he said, you have an option. Because the next time you come here, if I'm not around, no one's going to let you out. No one is going to be there for you but you. And you will be in this jail cell because that's the choice that you made. Not because someone forced you in, not because someone made you do something, but because you made a conscious choice to do something that put you in jail. Okay? People that don't do anything normally don't go to jail. You're normally not going to have people knocking on your door saying, you're going to jail now because you're an upstanding citizen and you do what you need to do. There is something called consequences to your action. okay? And the consequences to your action aren't necessarily negative, but they are what you make them, okay? We have to take our minds and put them in a place where we have the ability to determine what goes on. Because if we don't, then we get stuck, okay? When I was in New York and I was growing up, I had two types of friends. Book friends and people that ran the streets. And my book friends also played sports. We would go out and we all hung together. Strangely enough, the book people hung. Now you guys have all these cliques and everything, and people, if you're a book guy, you don't hang with the sports people. For us, it was you were cool no matter who you were with, as long as you did who you were. There was no, if you look back at like the 80s, yes, the 80s. Don't laugh. 80s, everybody dressed the same. Everybody looked the same. I saw your hair. I was like, I had one of those when I was your age. Seriously, no joke. Don't laugh. I did. But I had a little part in Kid and Play. Anyway, so I'm just saying. So you have the options of being with who you want to be with, but everybody hung out the same way. However, at 9 o'clock on a Saturday, when we had to go home, the people that hung the streets would make a conscious decision, I'm not going home now. I'm going to stay out because it's dark and I can do what I need to do. So we had the choice to say, do we want to hang out and get in trouble? Because that's all there was to do. Or do we want to go home and do what we need to do to make sure that we can move ahead? Everything we do in life is an option. Cutting school, not doing what we should do, everything is an option, okay? So looking at my life and saying what I want to do, I always look back to that jail cell. And that was the hardest lesson that I ever had to learn when it comes to certain things. Now, with that said, it still didn't stop me from wanting to try stuff. We're going to do it. It's going to happen. We're going to be in situations where, man, it sounds really, really like something I shouldn't be doing. But we go and do it anyway. I've done it. I'm sure everyone here has done it at least once or twice before, where it's like, this really isn't the best thing for me. But halfway through, when you're doing something that you know is wrong, who has the power to stop you from doing it? Yourself. When you get in a situation where it's like, this is not where I want to be. Because it's difficult when you're hanging out with your friends and they're like, oh man, listen, I saw this over there. Somebody left their bike. We're going to go take it real quick and nobody's going to know. It's been sitting there. It's all right. We're going to go. You're like, all right, listen. When you're walking to that bike, you have very serious options in your mind. Now, here's what they are. The consequences are, I take the bike, and I have a bike now because I didn't get caught. Now, consequence is not necessarily a bad thing. Remember I said that. Consequence is the result of an action. So your consequence is, I have a bike. It's not my bike, but I have a bike. The other consequence is, I have a bike and I almost got away, but I got arrested because I was stealing something that wasn't mine. Because anything that's laying around that's not yours, that you take, is stealing. Whether it's been laying there for a month, a year, a day, or a second. So those are things that you have to play out in your mind. Now, is it difficult to play those things out in your mind all the time? 100%. Because no one's going to say, okay, pause, hold on, wait a second, let me think about what my consequences are and write them down on a piece of paper. You're just going to do. The thing is, how many times you just do before you realize that you're doing wrong? How many times do you do that? So for me, my decision-making process to, one, I've never, believe it or not, I've never been drunk in my life. Ever. Never smoked weed, never done any type of drug. ever. Because I used to be the one that said, you know what, I know my books. I'm good. I'm good. I have good grades. I play sports. I play football. I play basketball. I play baseball. I'm good. I know what I need to do. So I can hang with the bad kids. Because I can still do me and still have the fun. But the first time we were in a stolen car, and the person that was driving it was drunk, and we almost crashed and killed ourselves on the FDR Drive at 3 o'clock in the morning, I had to make a serious decision. A serious decision. Because I said, if I continue this, I will be dead. Because one, I'm having fun, but two, I don't care who my fun affects. They're throwing bottles out of the car, throwing stuff at people on the highway. I'm like, really? And I'm sitting there, I'm the only one sober in the car, and everyone else is just having a free-for-all. And I'm like, okay, this is not where I want to be. So from that point, I had to be 17, 18. I never, ever drank alcohol. Ever. I'm a chef. I taste, but hey, let's go to the bar and get a few shots. No. I know what alcohol tastes like, but I am not a drinker. Because I said I always have to have my faculties about myself and an understanding of what's going on around me, because the people that I hang with sometimes don't. And if I have to be the only voice of reason in their ear, if me just saying, you know what, maybe this isn't the best idea, and they go, you know what, I think you're right. Let's not go out and rob these people tonight. Let's not go out and sell these drugs that I have. Let's not go out and retaliate for someone that hurt one of our friends in the street. Let's not do it. At that point in time, you have made a difference in not only your life, because if you're standing next to that person, guess what? I'm not going to say as a police officer, well, you were standing here and you know them. You go on and go away and just take the person that they feel did it, because they don't know. They're going to take whoever is there. You're rolling around in that stolen car, they're not going to say, well, did you ask, is the car stolen? Well, no, this is my boy. Why would I ask my boy if the car is stolen? Exactly. Did you know that there was a gun under the seat? Did you know there were drugs in the trunk? Well, no, why would I ask? So now you're caught up in somebody else's stuff. So you have to take control of what you do. I had to take control of what I do because I saw a pattern of having the ability to do stuff and not get caught. Because sometimes people are just naturally sneaky. Not that I'm naturally sneaky, but if you understand how to do things in a way where I can give myself, present, yes, very respectful, very whatever, but still try and do things on the background, those things catch up to you. Because those things come to light. Always. You can't have a double life. You can't. Because it always there's always one other person that says, you know what? I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to go back to jail. Something's going on. I need to be in a certain place. I'm going to tell on you. I'm going to rat you out. I'm going to be the one that sacrifices you for my freedom. Because it happens. So why would you put yourself in a position where you are in an environment of constant agitation? And what that means is you're always like this. Like Corey said, everybody is the police. But if you're doing the right thing, why do you care? Why do you care? If you're doing what you need to do on a regular basis, why is it relevant who's the police and who's not the police? Who's an undercover and who's not an undercover? Your ability to do what needs to be done comes from you. Okay? Things that I've done in my life, I'm proud of everything I've done in my life. You know, I'm proud of everything I've done in my life. Have I had the options, chances, and ability to do dirt? Without a doubt. every time I look back, I'm like, maybe things would have been different, but at the same time, I wouldn't be where I am right now. I wouldn't be where I am right now if I did something different. So you have to look at it from that perspective. It's not about, well, you have to go to jail in order to see the light. You know, it's people, how many people that you hear about, oh, I almost died, now I'm going to live life like I'm free. Why didn't you do that before you almost died? Why do you have to wait for the most severe consequences to affect your life, take away your freedom, take away your family, take away your anything before you say, I need to wake up, I need to understand that I'm responsible for what I am. And you have to change your mindset to say, you are the only positive effect on your life. Not that other people don't have an effect on your life, but as long as you focus on your own mind and make your own mind the most positive point in your life, nothing can affect you. Nothing. Nothing can take away your positivity. I tell people all the time, if you smile from the inside, it'll always come out. Always. There's no way you can be happy with yourself and who you are on the inside and not have everybody that's around you know. If you give yourself the impression that, how many people hate Mondays? You hate Mondays, right? So, let me ask you a question. If you woke up on Monday and said, you know what? It's Monday, and this is going to be the best Monday it could ever be. I'm going to wake up, I'm going to have a fabulous day. It is going to be the most phenomenal Monday ever. What else is going to happen? Nothing. It is going to be the most phenomenal Monday ever. If you wake up every day and say you're ready to accept the good that is coming your way, what else is going to happen? If you wake up and go, I know I'm going to miss the bus. I miss the bus every day. I miss the bus every day. What else is going to happen? As soon as you start changing your mental focus to positive, nothing else can enter your lives. Nothing else can enter your lives. Because it's impossible for you to see negative if you are not looking for it. It's impossible. And those are things that you have to condition yourself from an early age. Now, I'm standing up here talking to you, oh yeah, you gotta be positive, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. It hasn't always been this way. There are times where I woke up, and I was like, man, gotta get up, gotta go to this job that I hate, gotta go do this, gotta go do that, gotta go do something I don't like, oh, I gotta listen to my parents, gotta do this, gotta do that. And I was just like, whatever I can do to get out of this, I'm going to try and get out of it. Whatever I can do to not have to do what everybody else is telling me to do, I'm going to do. But you have to realize that your parents and people that are in authority are not there to dominate your life, but to guide it. They're there to gently nudge you in a certain direction. Now, I'm sure you're probably saying, well, my mother says I have to do this, my father says I have to do, and this, my grandmother says I have to do this. That is their focus. No parent, no guardian, no person that's in your lives is just going to say, you do whatever you want to do, I don't care. They're doing what they're doing to guide you in a certain direction. And your ability to absorb that, because I'll tell you right now, and I'm going to tell you this right now, it is 5 minutes to 6. What's today's date? 5 minutes to 6 on the 5th of November. When you are 30 years old, you're going to go, oh, now I know what my mother was trying to say. Oh, now I know what my father was trying to tell me. Because right now, you just see it as words attacking you. You see it as, why are they being so mean to me? Why is this teacher doing this to me? What, algebra? Why do I need that? What do I need? Well, what do you need it for? Anyway, why do I need that? Certain things you have to look at now that 30 years from now, you're going to be like, I get it. And doing the same thing to them that your guardians, parents are doing to you. And they're going to say the same thing and react the same way that you react to them. Why are they bothering me? Why are they doing this to me? Why are they forcing me to do this? Reading, I don't want, oh, why can't I just hang out all night? And those are things that are life lessons. That the life lessons that you learn, you have two options. Take them, put them in your pocket, and keep them to yourselves. Or you do what a person that wants to see everyone around them do. You take in the life lesson, you understand the life lesson, you apply it to your life, and then you pass it on. Because if you don't pass on the life lessons that you'll learn and hear from all these people that care about you, then you are going to waste everything that's being handed to you. And you have to take that and apply it and use it for other people. It's not just about you. Your growth, I teach cooking classes. People say to me, well, why do you teach cooking classes? And I'm like, here's why I teach cooking classes. One, there's a great possibility that somewhere I go, because Vegas is about this big, somewhere I go, someone is going to be cooking. Now, why do I want to go somewhere where the person doesn't know how to cook? I don't. So if I can teach someone how to cook, the likelihood is that, because I'm a damn good chef, the likelihood is that someone that I go to eat with or eat at their house, because you've all been to people's house and you're like, really, do I have to eat this? What you do, will know how to cook. So it's not the benefit for you. Seriously, it isn't. It's not the benefit for you. It's the benefit for how you can pass that information on to others. Yes? No? Maybe? I mean, we're not asking you, I don't think anybody here is asking you to say, I pledge I will never do anything bad ever again. No. What we are asking you to do is to understand that the consequence to your actions is greater than what you think it is. Ray started out by saying he murdered his family, his friends, and everything. And everybody was like, because I was like, oh my goodness, really? Seriously right now? And then he helped us to understand what that meant. Because if that is something that affects you, how you affect your family, how you affect your friends. I know my boys, and I'm going to wrap it up with this. My boys and I've had my same friends for 46 years. I have 12 friends that are my friends, that if I was anywhere, I'm on the moon right now, they would say, okay, what do you need? What do you need right now? I have 12 friends. And those friends have literally, and it's not a pact that we made, but the people that we know that are not in our circle, it's not that we don't care about them. If they go to jail, we don't go visit them. We don't go see them. We don't go talk to them. We don't interact with them. Why? Why do you think we do that? Why do you think we do that? And this is something that we've done for a long time. And we sat down one day and said, well, why do we do that to people? And we all came up with the same conclusion, that if their understanding of where they are is better than where they could be with their friends and family and living life, then we're going to leave them right where they are. And we're not going to interact with them because it's going to make them say next time they go to do something stupid, damn, it has been 5 years. I have not spoken to my boys for 5 years. Next time you'll think before you act because you don't want to lose that. Trust me, as hard as as your family members are, as hard as your friends are, as hard as things are on you, if you think about closing yourself off right this second, going in your room, closing the door, and never seeing anybody for 5 years, how would you feel? How would you feel? I'll leave that with you guys, and you think about it, and hopefully it's something that propels you to say, it's not really where I want to be. I don't want to lose everything that's around me.